morning everyone, it's John, JD Landscapes. I've got a special friend in the background. You might just be able to see him just there. You might have seen him in a few other videos as well. Callum from Willow's Waterscapes, he's a good friend of ours.
Yes, baby, that's the money shot.
So today we are in, I would say lovely Gisborough, but you can see the hills in the background. It's pretty misty, but anyway, it's still lovely. It's beginning of March, it's still pretty chilly. We've got it's a roughly around 3.5 meters by 6 foot-ish per 8 meter pond. We're going to transform it completely because it is ugly and it leaks, and it's got a top pond waterfall thing which is awful and leaky and it's overgrown. And Lewis actually came in and done a clean on it a couple of months ago. Found out it was irreparable, and you can sort of see from there that you know, this is what we needed to get on. So my client's just opening the door for us. I think she's going to offer us a cup of tea, don't you think? Looks that way. But yeah, well, I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you exactly what's going on in a minute. So yeah, you can see it's a little bit on the ugly side. Not quite sure what look they're going for, whether it's the formal or I don't know, quite honestly. But it's yeah, it's mucky, it's got lots of stuff in it, all the edges are lethal and falling in. The waterfall leaks, unsurprisingly. Redesign all that into a nice, beautiful, roughly 3x2 ecosystem pond. We might beach little parts of this up. Quite like the idea of the stepping stones, so we're going to try and see if we can find us some sort of boulder or whatever to do that. Still skimmer in that back corner because we need access for a wheelchair along here. So yeah, here we go. Anyway, see you in the progress. See ya. Okay, so end of day one, and it's been a bit of an interesting one actually. So you can see that there's that great big cavernous thing in the middle. We have a sneaking suspicion that that's hiding things, so that's staying and we're going to work with it. So I mean, I reckon pipe work, if you ask me. There's a drain just down here, so it makes sense. So we've got our biofall set up there. We're going to really transform this area. We're going to bring our pond and stage it up, the waterfall along here. It was just a tall drop before. We don't really like to do that because it's not very natural. We've got our skimmer placed. It's going to get dug out tomorrow. You can see in the bottom there we have had to dig out, and it is the most horrendous digging, not going to lie. There's nothing good. There's no goodness in that. Anyway, end of day one, liner in tomorrow. We've got everything we need. This is going to fly up tomorrow. See you then. How is it, Callum?
This is exactly what you love when you get to a job site. It's horrible, thick clay, full of stones.
Are you just exaggerating because you were digging in sand last week?
No, I'm not. This is a nightmare. This is, look at that. Solid, like iron clay. I miss my sand. Where's the sand at?
Good morning, day two. Weather hasn't improved anything. The frogs had a good time last night though. Yeah, we put a little bit of water in there thinking that they could potentially come back, and they have. They really have. Lots of spawn, still plenty of mating going on in there. So anyway, we are going to start making the ecosystem pond, rock this in. We're going to get the skimmer put in there first thing, run the pipe work up to the top of the biofalls, and we're going to start creating a lovely little ecosystem pond. This should be rocked up by the end of the day. Okay, so we'll start with this fall again. Nice sheep falls coming up. And it goes up to the biofalls, pinch falls. Again, this was, you see in the before photos how narrow this was, and we didn't have the scope really, or the freedom to actually sort of take this wider. But we managed to hide the biofalls really nicely. Obviously it's a little bit hard at the minute, so we're desperate for plants, but it still is early March, so we're still ready. A little bit too early there. Lovely bit of tree stump in there. Nice little beach effect here, so we're going to get some nice sort of marginal aquatic sort of just creep over this whole area, soften this up. We're taking the bridge stones out because they just weren't necessary in the end. Some plants around the 400 skimmer, some planting zones along here. But considering this was in a patio, and that's still the hard edge of the patio, it looks really, really good. Very natural. A little bit of a rock slide on this front side, sort of there. And it's just screaming out for plants, of course it is, but we've got some we've got a planting pocket here and a planting pocket over the side there for water lilies. So we've got plenty of frogs. They're still trying to mate. You see a clump of frog spawn, which happened over the weekend. The steps are going to be reutilised. This lady has inherited this garden. The steps are going to be reutilised actually as planting, sort of almost like a stage for planting tubs. So that's going to get all nice pots and all that. Which I think is going to look really nice actually. There's plenty of ways to get in and around the garden. And she just said that quite frankly that's not one of them. She never used the bridge in the first place, or the stepstones I should say. So we're looking forward to getting this one cleared up. I'm sure these guys are looking forward to it as well. And I'm pretty certain these guys are really looking forward to getting me out of their way. Okay, start at the bottom. This is a very, very challenging waterfall to build because we had to make a lot of height up in not a real sort of big area. So we've probably gone up nearly 2.5, 3 feet in less than 2 feet. And we've tried to do that with as little rock as possible and make it look like it's just been bouncing through these things. So I think we've really achieved that very nicely. I mean, sheet falling off the top, nicely bouncing off. Look around this middle section into a deep pool, and you can really get that gurgling sound, that real bassy sound of thick water coming through the bottom sections. Look at this, has looked like it's been carved out over the time, where the water's just been constantly eroding that away. Yet we've still got that nice sheet falls, which has given us a good sort of 12-inch drop straight away off the top there. Thanks for watching everyone. If you like what you see, just hit that like button for me and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. If you have any questions, just hit it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Cheers.